Earlier this week, Atlanta Falcons GM Terry Fontenot said at his media availability at the Combine that the Falcons were comfortable paying Kirk Cousins as QB2. That would mean they would have to pay a $10 million roster bonus due in a couple of weeks. Adam Schefter, ESPN's NFL insider, with his read of the Kirk Cousins situation, this from the Pat McAfee Show.
Kirk Cousins, Terry Fontenot said yesterday, hey, we're comfortable with just sticking with this guy. He'll be the backup. We've talked that, that's probably not going to be the case. The Browns might make sense. Is he completely separate from the other guys? What happens with Stafford? Does that matter at all to what is going to potentially happen with Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, I think he's separate. And I know the Falcons have said all that they said. The Broncos said something similar last year about Russell Wilson, and then they wound up releasing him. And I'd be surprised if Kirk Cousins is in Atlanta this season. However it plays out, I mean, that I just don't see it that way. But if they want to pay their backup quarterback more money and sink another $10 million in guaranteed money into him, then I guess he can be there. See, he's got a no trade clause.
You see,
so he would have to sign off on it. He could veto every trade. So eventually, I think the Falcons are going to have to release him. And if and when he is released, you would hope it would be sooner rather than later while there are quarterback chairs, because if he waits later, they don't owe him anything, but they could do it later, and then he doesn't really have an ideal landing spot. The sooner they let him go, the more options he would have. And the Falcons already are paying his salary, which is why a team like, I'm not telling you to be the Browns, but the Browns make sense because they've got other financial commitments and obligations. He's got a relationship with Kevin Stefanski. He's a Midwestern guy.
Let's welcome in Quincy Carrier from Untitled Unfiltered Browns coverage. So, Quincy, here's the thing. Falcons probably aren't going to get more than a 4th or a 5th round pick for Kirk Cousins in a trade. Do you think the value of a 4th or 5th round pick for an owner is $10 million? It's pretty steep to me.
Yeah, you're probably not even getting the 4th and 5th round pick. That's pretty ambitious, right, for Kirk Cousins at this point of his career. Talking about maybe a 6th or 7th round pick. And you can have conversations. The Browns pretty much traded about $20 million for pick 93 with Buffalo, right? When they traded Amari Cooper. But for a day 3 pick, yeah, you're probably not willing to give up any money for that. And you're going to try to make teams think as much as possible. If you want Kirk, you better trade for him. But the reality is the way Kirk's contract's set up, either you release him or you keep him and you spend all that extra money, and teams pretty much don't believe him when he says that he's going to keep Kirk on the team.